What's up, Star Wars fans? Today we got a preview for Episode 12 of The Bad Batch. Episode 11 was definitely unique when it comes to this series, as we saw very little of Clone Force 99, and the focus was shifted to Ryloth, where we followed the family of Hera Syndulla during this time where the Empire is rising to power. Episode 12 is going to air July 16th, 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here in North America, and is titled Rescue on Ryloth. And you might be thinking that you really don't need to watch a preview video for this upcoming episode because it's obvious who is going to do the rescuing. At the end of episode 11, we saw that Hera's parents were captured by the Empire, and hey, it would make a lot of sense if the Bad Batch were called in to rescue them. And it certainly could be as simple as that. But I think there are some other big possibilities when it comes to rescuing Cham and his wife. Do I think the Bad Batch are going to be called in to help with the rescue, or that they're going to be a much larger part of this episode? Absolutely. But there are certainly a lot of other things in play here. For one, Crosshair is involved in this conflict. So wouldn't it be interesting to see some sort of redemption arc at least start in this episode for Crosshair? Now that certainly wasn't hinted at in episode 11, but it is an interesting thought as we grow closer and closer to the end of this season. And by the end of this season, I think we 100% will see Crosshair coming back to the Bad Batch. And although Crosshair turning against the Empire wasn't really hinted at in episode 11, certainly the clone Hauser did seem very conflicted when it came to following orders against the Syndullas. And in my predictions video, I mentioned that Rex sort of foreshadowed the idea that there were clones that didn't succumb to Order 66 in the inhibitor chip. And hey, maybe Hauser is one of those. There's certainly lots of hints that suggest that's the case. One, up until now, all the other clones that we've seen, other than say the Bad Batch and Crosshair, well, they've been monotoned with completely white armor, and Hauser still has his color on his armor. And I think this is really hinting at his free will and his ability to still make choices despite the inhibitor chip in Order 66. And another hint that Hauser is a little different than all these other clones that we've run into is the fact that he still has a unique hairdo. And both of these are visual cues that Hauser is different from all the other clones that we've met, at least those that are still in the service of the Empire. So wouldn't it be interesting if the Bad Batch were called in to actually rescue Hera's parents, but Crosshair and the Empire are actually able to stop them. And then it's actually Hauser that ends up rescuing the Bad Batch, Omega, and Hera's parents. And unfortunately, to do this, Hauser has to sacrifice his life, but in the process, of course, he returns Hera to her family and Omega to her family as well. A selfless act like that is certainly something that belongs in Star Wars, and therefore could be something coming up in this episode. But hey, Star Wars fans, check out our community predictions video for episode 12 of The Bad Batch. I'll have it linked here in the cards. And as always, I'm Mike. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.